Hi guys, welcome to my video and Vlogmas day 15. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review and kind of little tutorial of Charlotte Tilbury's new line. This is her Hollywood Flawless Filter Luxury Eye Quads, as well as a couple new shades of the Hollywood Flawless Filter Highlighter and Primer. So if you want to see what my thoughts are on the new collection, if I like it, and a little bit of an eye tutorial, then go ahead and please keep on watching. And hello everyone, I hope that everything is going well. Like I said, this is part of my Vlogmas series, so if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button now if you are interested in watching more of these videos. I think I'm only going to do a couple more, maybe like 1 or 2 more videos before Christmas. We're just days away from Christmas now, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to kind of film every single day, but I'm going to try. Anyways guys, Charlotte Tilbury came out with a new launch, and that's why you're here. So she came out with some new luxury eye quads. I know, I thought she was done. Apparently there's more. So the first up I'm going to show you is this. This is her Diva Lights Flawless Filter Luxury Eye Quad. And this is her, what is this one called? This one is her Star Aurora Luxury Flawless Filter Hollywood Eye Quad. I think I said that right. Anyways guys, I'm going to be trying this one on today in the video and doing a little bit of a tutorial as well as some swatches and explaining why these are different from her regular luxury eye quads. So first up, Charlotte Tilbury has extended her Hollywood Flawless Filter range. She's come out with some minis, which I have right here. Now this is not a new product for Charlotte Tilbury. She's just added 5 new shades. So if you guys are kind of interested in seeing what they are, I will pop a picture of them on the screen now. And she also came out with some minis. Now this one was $20 and you're getting 5.5 milliliters, sorry. And I'm in the color 3 Fair. So I did use this today and I will show you that in the tutorial portion. But for $20, I wasn't expecting it to be this tiny. I thought it'd be like a little bit bigger. Anyways, my advice is if you're gonna go ahead and get this, go ahead and spend the money on the bigger one, because if you do like this product, I haven't used this product before, even though I've been a Charlotte Tilbury fan for a long time, but I actually want to go ahead in the new year and purchase the big one. I'm gonna use up the small one first. But it's probably worth your money to go ahead and invest in the big one, not the little ones, because it's kind of, it is travel friendly, but I think it's overpriced for $20, honestly. The Hollywood Flawless Filter Eye Quads. Now, these were developed because of this. So these are not your typical Charlotte Tilbury eye quads where you're gonna get intense pigment, intense color, sparkle and glitter and all that fine stuff. These are gonna be a more subdued, very subtle version of these, with the option though to build them up so you can get these very pigmented. Now the purpose behind the Hollywood quads is to basically make your eye look like you're wearing a social media filter. So you know when you're like on Instagram and you put on those filters that kind of make your face look airbrushed and like you have no wrinkles? That's kind of the purpose of these quads. Are very subtle when you are applying them. They're supposed to give you a beautiful soft focus filter effect because they have light reflecting properties. Now when you have something that has a light reflecting property in it, it's basically like kind of putting studio lights on your face, or like a filter where it's kind of just going to smooth everything out, give you a very soft, subtle glow, make it a little bit like fuzzy, like an old glamour movie where, you know, they put the glamour shots on the girls and they're like, ah, and then you look at the guys and they're like in focus, you're like, ooh. Anyways, I will tell you more about these at the end of my video, but first let's go ahead and get into the tutorial and try the actual formulation of this out and see if I actually approve and if there are any big differences between this and this. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the swatches and then the tutorial. So first up I have the Star Aurora Hollywood Flawless Filter Eye Quad. Again, as you can see, the close-up shows that there are very, very subtle differences. This is a beautiful nude everyday type of eye, very, very subtle. The swatches turn out very light, but you can pick up the pigmentation if you apply these wet. And then up next I have the Diva Lights. Same thing, this one's a little bit more pigmented, different colors, and then it's obviously the swatches are going to show up a little bit better. But again, the very light swatches are very, very subtle, but you can always build them up. And then here they are. You can see the difference between the two of them. Alright, so to begin the tutorial part, I'm going to go in with this Good Molecules. This is a moisturizing face primer. It's silicone free. So now that we have that primer on, I'm going to try this Hollywood. I don't have any of these before. They're not new, but they have 5 new colors to the line, like I said before. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter for a superstar youthful glow. Now they sent me 3 fair, which was the wrong one. I think I ordered 4.5 light medium, but let's just see how this works, because again, I'm going to be using this as a primer today. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be using this as a highlighter. Okay, so I finally got it open. Again, you're only getting 5.5 milliliters. I probably just should have opted for the big one, but I'm going to use this all over my face as kind of like a primer and a base. So I'm just going to kind of keep it in the areas where I want glow and kind of extra jazzle. Just jazzle a word, pizzazz. I'm going to use my finger just to apply this. So it's kind of shiny, and maybe this is not, maybe this is a little too dark for me, I don't know. I'm just gonna blend this in. I'm gonna put some on my eyes. So it blends out nice, it blends out light. It does give your skin a very, very big glow. But again, I'm just going to use this as a primer, and then I might add some more with like a beauty blender after. It feels really creamy. It's not sticky. I've never used the Flawless filters. Okay, so I have a very shiny face. It's definitely a glowing product. Let me just read a little bit more about this. So, a super glow, apply it all over the face as a flawless filter or on top of foundation, and you want extra coverage, which acts like a digital enhanced filter for your skin. So for a soft focus effect, perfect, and illumination for a dewy, flawless, super youth glow. So because it says this is dewy, and I'm going to be putting on like a satin foundation, I don't know how that's going to go, because I have the Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the shade for Neutral. So I'm going to apply this and see how it works. I mean, it's very, from what I can see, very shiny, very glowy. I might have put too much on. And yeah, it actually just does make my face look a little bit filtered, but I can still see everything. So I'm going to go ahead and put on this guy. So now the Airbrush Flawless Foundation is a satin finish, like a satin matte. It's very full coverage, but we'll see how this goes. That's about like 1.5 pumps. Again, whenever I put this on, it does oxidize. I know it looks crazy to begin with. Okay, so sorry, the sun is coming in and out of clouds, and it's kind of washing me out, so if the light's changing, that is why. So far it feels good. It looks super glowy. It still looks like my skin, but there's a lot of glow. I might have put a little bit too much on of that Flawless Filter Foundation. Anyways, I'm going to go in and do the rest of my base. Okay, brows are a little textured and full today, but we're going to work with what we got. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the first shade, the cream color shade. The prime shade, and I'm just going to use that as a base for my eyes today. So I'm going to zoom, I should probably zoom you guys in so you can see what it looks like. So again, that is the #1 prime shade. That's about 2 swatches of it. I thought it'd be a little bit more gold and metallic, but it's a little bit more white champagne-y than anything. I'm going to go in with the pink shade next, same brush. And I'm just going to apply this over my eyelid. Again, I'm using a fluffy brush. Really got to kind of dig it in there to pick up pigment. Ooh, that's pretty. I feel like this is a color that she's had before in a lot of her other palettes, like the Darling palette, the Pillow Talk palette, maybe another one of her quads. I don't think this is a new rose goldy pink. I'm just going to go in with my finger and kind of go over that, because that's how I technically like to apply these shadows. So these are like the shimmer soft focus shadows. Yeah, I like that a lot better, and I'll just blend out the edges. It's a little bit harder to work with this kind of texture. It's almost like it's not as creamy. It's just a little bit drier than the normal formulas that she would have in other palettes. So just be aware, it's supposed to be like a very soft focus filter effect. I don't think they're going to be as pigmented as her regular quads. I'm going to go in with this like bronzy color and just put that into my crease. That's really pretty. I do like that, but again, I feel like this is a color maybe she's had before in other palettes. I'm gonna go back in with my finger and just pick up some of that pigment that I lost. There we go. So that was the smoke shade I applied in the crease. It's kind of bugging me out. It's a little bit rough to blend in. So let's just go in with the bigger blending brush and really give that a good blend. I'm gonna go in with this really itty bitty brush and I'm gonna dip it into this like blue, navy blue. So that's a matte shade, I am assuming. So I'm gonna use this as my define shade. Oh, the sun's coming out, so that's nice and glowy. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm just gonna do the lower lash line. Sorry for the blinds on my face, that is from my blinds. So let's see, I'm just gonna line my waterline. I'm gonna take a clean brush and then go back into that first shade and I'm gonna actually pop that in the inner corner just to open up the eye a bit. I'm gonna go in with some mascara. I'm gonna use the Pillow Talk Push Up Lash Mascara. I do have videos on this one. Like I say, pretty much in every video, this has kind of become my new favorite mascara because it tight lines. So, as well as gives you length and volume. So I always go in with the flat side first and then I turn it so I get the bristle side and then I just kind of comb through any clump. Okay, so I'm done and then this is what the finished product looks like. I just took the blue into the crease as well as down the lower lash line and then I finished the rest of my makeup. I'm going to zoom you guys back out. Okay, so let's get into my final thoughts about my first time using the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This one is supposed to be like a highlighter and a filter. It's supposed to give your pores a soft blur effect as well as giving you this bright inner glow, as well as it can be used underneath makeup and then on top of makeup as well. Now there were 5 new shades released for this. I think you can also use it on top. Like I have a Jaclyn Hill highlighter on. You can kind of see a little bit, but I went back in just to clean up the lines of my eyes with the Flawless Airbrush Finish Skin Perfecting Powder from Charlotte Tilbury, and that really kind of took down extra shine and stuff, so I had to add something back on. So if you want to add this as a highlighter, I would maybe mix it in before your foundation and then go ahead and top it up after. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm going to take the smallest a bit because I think I put way too much on. Oh, I just noticed I have some blue fallout there. And I'm just going to add it on top of that highlighter. So, yeah, this is a very natural looking one. Oh, I like that actually. So I would probably use this maybe underneath my foundation and then on top as well to give it an extra boost or an extra glow. So it's really subtle. It did kind of tone down the actual highlighter that I had. It's probably because the two undertones are kind of canceling each other out. But overall, I'm really impressed. It kind of does give a little bit of a dewy glow. If you want more of a dewy glow, don't set this with powder or just put it on top and let it dry down. I would highly recommend you get the big bottle. I don't think it's worth $20 for 5.5 milliliters. Like I wasn't expecting this to be this tiny. So go ahead if you're going to get this and invest in the big bottle. Alright guys, now let's get into my final thoughts on the Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter Quads. So again, I have both colors. The color that I have, the quad that I'm wearing is this one. This one is called Diva Lights. And then I have the other quad, which is called Star Aurora. So this is definitely more for kind of a daytime, an everyday subtle sparkly eye. This is a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more intense for special occasions or just somebody who likes a lot more color. Now with the Aurora Lights, this one kind of looks a little bit flat and kind of gray, and just be aware in certain lighting it kind of looks flat, like it's for the same colors, but it's not. Where this one you can definitely see each of the individual shades. So first, let's start off with the claims behind this product. So again, it's supposed to be like you put a social media filter over your eyes. So it's supposed to look flawless. It's supposed to reflect light. It's supposed to be very soft focus and basically just make your eyes look like you have kind of like airbrushed them in real life. So I can't really speak to the claim that it makes your eyes look airbrushed. I still can see the lines on my eyes. I can see a little bit of texture that I'm having and a little bit of dryness because I do have eczema on my eyelids. But with that said, I think these palettes are so beautiful. They definitely do reflect light. They have a very soft focus effect. They're creamy and easy to blend on the eye. Now, my only kind of con I would say is with these palettes, because they are supposed to be like a soft focus effect filter, you're going to get a lot of a lighter shade than what you see in the pan, especially when it comes to the Diva Lights quad. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get the colors that are in the pan, but because these are supposed to be formulated to be very soft on the eye, they're going to go on a lot lighter, a lot more creamy, and very easy to blend out. But if you do want to pick up the intensity, go in with your finger or go in and wet the eyeshadows and apply them, and you'll have a more intense look and you'll get it closer to what you're seeing in the actual pan. So all these shades are very subtle versions of what you might get in the same quad if it was a regular luxury eye quad. Which brings me to my next point about formulation. So when I was putting on the formula of some of the shimmers, I noticed that because it was so soft focused, it was a tiny bit less creamy than if I were using a shimmer or a metallic from the regular luxury quad line. And just by a bit. And it's not dry, it's not chalky, it still blends up beautifully. It's still like that almost that creamed powder formulation, but just be aware that it is going to be a tiny bit drier, especially if you are an OG Charlotte Tilbury fan like I am of the luxury eye quads. Overall, these are just beautiful palettes, especially if you're someone who maybe doesn't like shimmer, if you don't like glitter, go ahead and give these a try. And they are limited edition, so if you are going to go ahead and grab these, go ahead and do so now, especially the Diva Lights. I think this one might sell out before this one. Again, this one is the Star Aurora and Diva Lights. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!